Good evening, Community House Middle School families. This is Mr. Slattery here, and welcome to our virtual open house curriculum night. This is something that we've changed up the past few years. We actually get a lot of participation when we have our virtual curriculum night. And one of the great things I love about our virtual curriculum night is you don't have to zoom in right away. You can watch all these different videos at any time at your own convenience. So glad you're able to join us. I encourage you to go in there and check out all your teachers, what they have to share for you in the core classes, and the elective teachers too. We have elective virtual night videos for you to look at. So enjoy that time. And of course, at any time after watching any of the videos, if you do have any questions, I encourage you just reach out directly to your classroom teachers on all those different things. But for you guys, my message is simple. It's a welcome. And also, I'm just going to talk about our grading policy. It's a CMS grading policy. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen and pull up our document that we've created. We kind of just made it a one pager. It's just a lot easier for you to be able to check out our grading policy. If you do want to see the full CMS grading policy, you can go online for our school website to view the entire policy. But you need to keep in mind in middle school, we do our grades based in three different criteria, and each different criteria is weighted differently. So the first criteria is a prepare grade. And this is worth 20% of your final average that you get for each quarter. Your prepare grades are grades like for homework, warm-ups, quick checks, things like that. We do have late work penalties on these too. We always want to make sure our students hand in their work on time and have that submitted. So if you do hand in something late, it can be up to 10 points per week. And obviously, if your student never hands in anything, it would be a 0 that ends up putting into the grade book. We do have maximums and minimums there at the bottom for everyday classes and our A-day classes, so you want to keep up with that. The next criteria we have is a rehearse grade. That's 30% of your grade, and these are your quizzes, some of your mini labs, some of the activities that are bumped up a little bit more important than the prepare grade. It's weighted a little bit more. Same thing with the late policy. You want to make sure you hand those in on time, or else we do take deductions from there. And you see the minimums and maximums you'll see of rehearsed grades in the grade book, both for classes that meet every day and every other day. And then the biggest part of it is your perform grades. These are your big tests. These are your unit assessments. These are your big project labs. These are your essays you're seeing in ELA. This is worth half, 50% of your final score for each quarter. There's late penalties on that, although a lot of times, especially if it's a paper that's due, sometimes you may see that come into effect with the late work. So you want to make sure you keep up with that. And of course, for prepare grades, we're only going to have, just a handful of these each quarter, between 3 and 4 perform grades if you're meeting every day, or between 2 and 3 for those that meet on the A day and B day. But parents, this is just a reminder, the biggest reason why a lot of our students do not pass classes or get D's in it isn't because they're not capable of doing well in the class. It's because of missing work. So you want to make sure you stay on top of that with your students, checking Infinite Campus regularly and identifying those things that are missing, and make sure your students make those up. The big piece of this too is late work is due 5 days after a perform has been completed. Once that's done, unfortunately, we won't accept work after that. So you want to make sure that when they are working on late work, it's done within 5 days within that unit, because we got to move on. We got to move on to the next unit in the studies for the school year with our pacing. So that's the grading policy for middle school courses. We also have our CMS grading policies for high school courses. We got a lot of math courses up there for high school level credit, our foreign languages in 7th and 8th grade for high school level credit. Basically, it's the same breakdown with the prepare at 20%, rehearse 30%, and perform at 50%. The big piece you want to remember, though, is we will do retakes in our performs for both middle school and high school courses, where we'll reteach and give an opportunity to retake a test for up to an 80%. But in a high school course, if it's the midterm or if it's the final, there's no minimum grade on there, and you are not eligible for a retest on midterms and on the final. There are no retests for those tests that get averaged into your score. Those are for the high school courses. Every performed test that we give, we will give the opportunity for the retest where they can score up to an 80% on that retest. And of course, during Cavalier time, before we give that retest, we'll work with your students in a small group and try to catch them up on the things that they need to work on before we give them that retest to take up to an 80%. And if by chance, this doesn't happen often, but sometimes if it does, if the first score is higher than the second score, we're always going to go with the highest score on that. But hopefully, after the reteaching and working with your student, we're going to see that average go up for that test as well. So that's our grading policy in a nutshell. Like I said, you can find this on our school website. And if you have any questions, concerns about that, you can reach out directly to me or ask your teachers, ask your grade level counselors, or your grade level admin as well. So that's all I have to share with you. So just like you to encourage you to go out there and visit all the different classes that your students have. Enjoy your virtual curriculum night, and hey, we'll see you in carpool. Have a great evening.